Hello, everybody. Welcome to my new YouTube channel. It's called A Leg Up on Life. I'm pretty sure you already know that because you saw the intro or whatever. So, hello. My name is Joel Cousin. I'm a master's student here at the University of Missouri studying public affairs. I have 2 bachelor's degrees, one in psychology and one in communications. But none of that really matters because that's not what this channel is about. Why am I making this channel? I guess it makes more sense for me to explain who I am to tell you why this channel is going to come to existence. So I was born July 17th, 1995. So I'm 23 going on 24. I'll turn 24 in a couple of days. Growing up, I was always really, really active. So probably from birth until around 3rd grade, I was the small, cute kid in all of your classes. I was faster than everybody else. Nobody could catch me. The coaches would pull my dad to the side and say, make sure that you watch your son because he has really great hand-eye coordination. But that all changed when I went down to my grandma's house for a summer. My grandma is from Southern Alabama. I'm not sure if anybody knows where Phoenix City, Alabama is, but she's from, I guess you would say, the outskirts of Phoenix City, Alabama, called Fort Mitchell, Alabama. And my grandma was really, really, really stalwart in believing that you have to eat 3 meals a day and you can't leave until your plate is completely clean. So me and all my cousins would sit down on the floor of my grandma's house on newspaper spreads for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I would not be able to leave until I finished everything, right? So safe to say, after that summer, I had gained about 25 pounds and I came back to Kansas City a little chunky. I have ever since then discovered my love for food, and from about 4th grade until currently, I've always been a bigger guy, right? But that came with a lot of trials and tribulations. So around the 5th grade, my mother actually thought that I was so little she didn't want to keep me in public school because she thought that I was going to be bullied beyond repair. So I went to a private Catholic school. I was in private Catholic school from 5th grade until graduation of high school. I went to St. Regis Academy in Kansas City, Missouri. Now, things were all right until around the 7th grade. I was about probably 4'7", 4'8", 150. So I was small and chunky. People used to call me Butterball because of how I looked. Going into high school, I have like an 8th grade picture. I don't know if it'll pop up on the screen or whatever, but I have like an 8th grade picture. And I actually look like I'm about 8 years old going into high school. So, high school is a time of development psychologically and physically for most people. And it's also the time where the sociopaths decide that they want to make sure that everybody else knows that they're better than they are, right? So I was bullied in high school. Like, I was bullied. Anybody from my high school watching this will be like, oh no, you weren't bullied, you weren't bullied. But when I start telling these stories, I guess you'll understand. So I remember there's one very specific story from my junior year of high school where there was something they called the Celtic Olympics, where all of the different classes came together and participated in games like a hula hoop race. You tie your leg to another person in race. Teachers participated in everything, and it was a half day, so it was supposed to be fun. You got out, you went home at like noon, right? They also have something at the end of the day called a donut eating contest. Now, keep in mind, I'm already super conscious about my weight, right? That of course I would never sign up for a donut eating contest, but there was a little voice in the back of my head that told me, Joel, you're going to get signed up for this donut eating contest. So at this point, when the contest is about to start up, I look at a group of people and they're all snickering and laughing. And I'm like, oh, it's about to happen. So they call my name, Joel Cousin, come on down. Now, keep in mind, I did not sign up for this. Everybody's laughing, ha, 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 ha. But that really hurt, right? That was one of the moments where I was like, dang, this really sucks. I remember I was driving my dad's car, going so fast to get back home just because I didn't want to be around that type of stuff. And the way that I coped is I played video games. I played so many video games. I played World of Warcraft all the time. I will go home, play World of Warcraft, and in that world, I'm a huge, strong individual. Nobody can beat me, right? I'm top of my class in that game because in real life, that's not who I was. But those are the type of stories that happened in high school. So move on to college. My mother and my father were fairly traditional. They were born in the 50s. So I was raised in a sheltered household. But when I came to Mizzou, I was like a dog off the leash, right? I had been on the leash for 18 years and they let me off. So my first semester freshman year, I had a 1.7 GPA. It was literally the worst thing I've ever done in my life. But I had probably the most fun I've ever had in my life my freshman year. Going into my sophomore year, I kind of got my head on my shoulders because I found out, there's this really cool organization called Alpha Phi Alpha that I really want to be a part of. So I went to one of their informationals and they said the GPA requirement. And I was so far off from that GPA requirement that I almost cried when I got back home. But anyway, I got my grades up. I eventually graduated with a 2.9. So I was working, but I did have my chance to become an alpha, spring 2017, and I was pursuing the light, and I finally got the light, and after that, I was headed to graduation, and my foot had been hurting. Now my foot was hurting in early January. I was actually hospitalized. They told me I had tendonitis, bursitis, tendonitis caused by a deep tissue infection, which caused the bursitis. There were a whole bunch of different things that they told me. So they put me on a drip of antibiotics, put me in a boot, and sent me on my way. So, summer of 2017, I decided now was the time I was going to get my life in order and I was going to lose the weight. I had started eating 5 little meals a day. I was going and working out every single day. I cut out sodas, all fried foods. I really only ate baked foods. And I ended up losing like 40 pounds in 2 months, which is insane when you think about it. I had went down from like essentially 290 down to 249 or something like that. So I had lost a lot of weight. So at the end of the summer, my LB, he always ran. And I decided I was going to start running because I wanted to up my weight loss that much more. Now this is when stuff started to go downhill. I ran for the first day. I ran around 1.5 miles, and my foot started hurting again. Now, it was not anywhere as bad as it was in the spring, but it was still pretty bad. The second day I went back and ran, I had to stop halfway through from how bad my foot was hurting. If I could give you a visual, imagine having a tennis ball on the back of your heel while you're wearing your tennis shoes. That's what it felt like. That's what it looked like too. So we called the Missouri Orthopedic Institute, and they told me, come in, we're going to have an x-ray. Your bursitis is flaring up. So I came in, had the x-ray, and they called me back and said, we saw something on the x-ray, so we want to do a biopsy. Immediately upon them telling me I needed a biopsy, I told my friend DeAnthony, I said, yeah, bro, I think I got cancer. And he was like, no, they're just going to check for cancer. I was like, nah, bro. This is cancer. There's no reason why my foot looks like this. It's been hurting for almost a year. They misdiagnosed me or what have you. So I went back and I was diagnosed with a Ewing sarcoma on my right heel. I had to do so many rounds of chemotherapy. They wanted me to do 17. I ended up doing 6 because I got my foot amputated on February 7th, 2018. I tried to use my leg to stop me from falling, but it's
That's
not there.
gonna happen.
Yep, that's gonna happen.
This
You
is
have to be
Joel's
mindful,
first outing
especially in these first.
after his
Yep.
amputation. This is
Where are we
day
going?
2,
Just back to your room.
and he is doing very well.
Do you need to
As you
sit
can
down
see.
or just stand?
Just stand.
All right.
Okay. And
You're doing
so,
great,
You are.
superstar.
his mommy's proud of him.
Oh.
Are you 6 foot, Joel?
I wish.
You wish.
5'10".
How's your pain doing?
It's gone.
The Percocet and
It was a therapy.
Just a therapy.
You know what?
Nothing else. Just that.
She's right.
Therapy.
Sometimes that therapy, getting up and moving, it helps those muscles and
back of the mind.
It's also our joyful faces.
Yeah, our friendly.
Friendly nature.
It's the shorts,
The
maybe.
shorts, that's fun.
Paper shorts always can make pain go away, I think. Okay, let's stop. I'm gonna have you go ahead and sit. There you go.
So that brings us to here. What is life with a prosthetic? You know, what is life living as a cancer survivor? And how does all of this play into, you know, the everyday life of a college student? That's what the point of this channel is. You know, I want to talk about fitness with the prosthetic because I'm going to get back into it. This channel is going to help me be accountable and get back into the gym the way I used to be. I'm going to give you guys updates on all of my cancer situation. And I just want things to be known, or I want people to understand that no matter what, you can stay positive and always have a leg up on life, even if you only have one leg. So stay in tune. Hopefully I'll be releasing some more stuff eventually in the coming weeks. But yeah, thank you so much for watching the video. And follow me on all of my social medias. If you click the banner on the YouTube channel, I already have them linked. So have a wonderful day, you guys, and I'll catch you later.